This is Little Timmy's YouTube channel. Little Timmy's YouTube channel's just been demonetized. Little Timmy can no longer afford to pay rent. Little Timmy is now dead. So YouTube all of a sudden one day is like, hey creators, your videos aren't making any money. The creators are like, what? YouTube is like, well, they've been demonetized for a while now, we're just deciding now to finally tell you. Creators were shocked. An update meant to increase transparency between the platform and its creators spiraled into a complete catastrophe.
I just made a video 2 days ago thanking YouTube, and I'd just like to know why do they love making a fool of me?
Hey, I got a question. Can you guys, like, re-monetize the videos if I ask nicely? No. Thankfully, this didn't happen. Most of the creators were actually able to eventually remonetize their videos. There wasn't even a policy change. Just imagine one day you receive like 12 emails from YouTube saying that your videos aren't making any money. This is why it's important to let creators know of any changes involving money on the platform. Don't want people thinking you're involved in some sneaky business, do you? But there's always some sneaky business going on in the weirdest parts of the internet. You got things like the dark web, which I'm not even gonna go into that. But even YouTube has a weird side. You got people promoting things like anti-Semitism, racism, political hate speech. But what happens when one of the biggest newspapers in the UK finds out ads are being put onto these videos? Meet Bill. Bill's a reporter for the London Times newspaper. Why he carries a gun, I do not know. His main mission is to investigate sneaky occurrences in the internet landscape. There was a particular problem with YouTube's landscape at the time. Questionable videos involving political hate rallies were showing up on the homepages of many users on the platform. This drove Bill to look a little further into the situation. Very quickly he became troubled. One quick glance at the operation was all you needed to notice that right at the front and center of this operation was none other than YouTube themselves funding the whole thing. Ads were showing up in the worst possible places on the platform. From extremist propaganda to political hate speech, adverts like movie trailers or mobile phone plans would get their chance to shine just before you would consume the most questionable video available. This was a bad look for YouTube. Bill spared no time at all. He quickly notified the London Times, and just a week after they wrote about it on their website, the Wall Street Journal. That's right, the biggest newspaper in the United States would write about it on their website. Let's stop the music for a second. I don't think people realize the effect that negative attention from the press can have on a brand or platform. Let me break it down simply for you. These people are a physical representation of YouTubers' ad revenue. What do you think would happen if the biggest companies in the world saw that your platform was in support of racist and extremist propaganda? Not even a day passed by and some of the biggest companies known to man pulled all of their advertising off of the platform. Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Walmart, McDonald's, Starbucks, Amazon, Microsoft, and many, many more companies were involved in a full-scale advertising boycott. It didn't help either that just a month ago, the biggest YouTuber in the world, PewDiePie, would be involved in a controversy involving the promotion of anti-Semitism. Many people thought this was the reason companies were pulling ads off the platform, but from what I've seen, what other people have seen, and what this man has seen, you know what? Let me just let him tell you himself.
None of my videos were involved in any of these articles. This was about extremist content, ISIS videos, political hate preach, etc, etc.
YouTube wasn't the only platform affected by the boycott. Google themselves, that's right, the creators of YouTube were also being affected by this. Companies literally started pulling ads from Google just so they could join in on the trend. Apparently wanting a piece of that Google pie, as one reporter would put it. We're also not going to talk about the Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial, right? Don't look that up. Google and YouTube would make one of the most controversial responses to this boycott in the history of the platform's lifespan. An advertiser policy update that would essentially change every channel's approach to creating on the platform. Gone were the days of swearing. Gone were the days of beautiful, beautiful memes. Gone were the days of living as a full-time content creator on YouTube. If you even mention a controversial topic, demonetized. If you swear at all on your videos, demonetized. If you even think about swearing, demonetized. If you even exist, demonetized. Big channels at the time, including Philip DeFranco, H3H3, channels including content with firearms and wrestling, would all see a decrease of about 80 to 99% in ad revenue alone. Smaller channels would be seen quitting all over the platform due to the lack of money that was being brought into their channels. This was really one of the most demotivating times in all of YouTube history. Never before has a platform felt so restricted to these soul-crushing restraints. Everything in life eventually fades into a state of non-existence. Pets, our parents, people who didn't make it past the 30-second mark in this video, and even controversies that spiral out of hand. Only a few months had passed by until YouTube would return back to kind of normal. Advertisers would be seen coming back with a completely new set of tools directly at their disposal. YouTube's algorithm would now label content based on what it would detect in a certain video. Mention flowers? You have a flower label. Mention games? You have a gaming label. Mention alcohol? You're an alcoholic. Also, you have an alcohol label. This algorithm picked up labels that advertisers would not want to be associated with. YouTube made it very simple for them to just check it off and cut advertising from a video completely. Potential was there for the algorithm to wrongfully label your content based on what your video showed. Thankfully, this wasn't as big of a deal as it would seem. It would slowly start to bring YouTube back to a normal way of being. What? Okay, I'm never going to say YouTube returned back to normal again. This is just ridiculous. Alright, I'm gonna travel in time for just a little bit, see if there's anything in YouTube's history other than the platform just completely falling apart.
At the time of this recording, T-Series is less than 400,000 subscribers away from passing PewDiePie.
Click that link. Subscribe to PewDiePie immediately.